And Shocky wanted to go for TKI there, but they're gonna misdrop. And ARCFOX doing a stick spin in TEC? I'm sorry, what? ARCFOX bringing all the variety and openers into the scene. Oh my goodness. Ballsy. But of course, this is TEC, so it doesn't matter that much. What you decide to open with, it's just very interesting to see, like, where the players' heads are at. And ARCFOX is gonna have a very nice donation here. Shocky's ending zone soon. Has stayed pretty efficient thus far. Not able to continue the zone any further in line count. ARCFOX not too far behind. They do have ulti, but they run out of time. And ARCFOX did have a fractal there, but they're gonna be forced to forego it. And that J-piece misdrop is so unfortunate. They technically did have the out with IRS, but like, that's a misdrop. You can't really plan for that. And Shocky's gonna take the first round. Both players are gonna decide to 6-3. ARCFOX takes their Tetris first. Shocky knows where their well's projected to be. Unfortunately for them, it's in 8-1. So they're going to be forced to do some fossil fuel stacking. ARCFOX initially had the column 7 well. It's going to move to column 8 and put them in a 7-2. Luckily for Shocky, their well does move. So they're going to be out of fossil fuel stacking and into 9-0. But they are going to still be forced to break back-to-back here. But it's still a pretty nice combo to compromise. Shocky's going for max lines. They find the 20, and that's going to be sending 54 over to ARCFOX, who I think just forgot to press their zone button there. Unfortunate. Sometimes that does just happen. But Shocky's going to take another early round, putting themselves in the lead 2-0. And both players are going to start with that TKI. I think we're going to see an LST war on our hands. Okay, ARCFOX said no. They're not doing it. ARCFOX has their own means of efficiency. And Shocky just has so much clean on their board, and it's very accessible. And they're going to actually prioritize accessing it just to make sure they don't get hit by any funny business. Trademark. Shocky's trying to keep back-to-back for as long as they can. They're going to break it now. And I think ARCFOX is going to try and play reactive here. They have the opportunity to. They have a lot of pre-pressure. And they're just going to start that zone immediately. Shocky is in the 6-3, so they have the opportunity to potentially max the pre-pressure that ARCFOX sent. But it's going to be tough if ARCFOX finds max lines. ARCFOX going for the high clear. It's not there, but they're still able to take a very nice amount of lines. And access their first well. Access their second. But they're still not out of the disadvantage. They're not out of the muddy water. And Shocky's currently the one dictating transition. They could exercise zoneless. It looks like that's what they're gonna do. And this is a very interesting situation. Because now Shocky's zoning when they have free pressure on their side. But ARCFOX had the worst board state to start. So this interaction could go either way, but now it's definitely favoring Shocky after that misdrop. ARCFOX decides not to take that T-spin. They're not going to be greedy. But they are going to get almost max lines. They are going to get max lines. Very impressive ulti solve. And that's going to mitigate and more. Shocky looking to set up the TST tower. Oh, they end up misdropping their T-piece, and that actually puts them in a really bad spot. They're going to be at the mercy of Overcharge. Overcharge they find, but now they have to deal with the full force of a center 4-wide. And ARCFOX is going to quarter that. They're gonna go for the quick end. And that's gonna be a quick 26 being sent over and has a side 4 wide to follow up, so if this combo doesn't drop, Shocky is actually just dead to rights. I don't think Shocky has that much overcharge, but they have enough for 1 quarter. They're gonna be forced to take it here. And ARCFOX gets an 11 combo afterwards. Shocky does have the final quarter, but this is going to be it. If this doesn't let them live, then nothing else will. Not allowed to take that T-spin. Oh my, they take it anyway, but you just don't have enough overcharge even if you do. Not being able to recognize that. They are going to top out, and ARCFOX is now on the board. As insane as that was, very unfortunate. I think that's what we consider going out in style. ARCFOX currently trying to deal with their awkward board state and piece layout. Shocky once again forced into that 8-1 stack. ARCFOX at a decent board state, but they do have those 2 cheese lines at the bottom of their board if they decide to zone. Could prove a problem. They are deciding to get as far down as they can first. Ooh, that eyepiece misdrop. Not a good one. But Shocky's in a pretty good position to zone right now. Unfortunately, their lines are going to get capped by a bad piece queue. That's going to give ARCFOX an opportunity to cancel what Shocky was sending initially. Ooh, ARCFOX has opportunity. They recognize it. They are going to be capped at ulti, but that's still going to be 54. Super Shocky going to just be accessing their well here. And they are going to choose to outzone here. They're not going to choose the tanking route. They're going to tank afterwards, though, very comfortably. ARCFOX has a micro combo to keep their board state clean. And Shocky's doing some power stacking here. They're actually going to choose to take this combo down. Going to end up breaking it. Another micro combo from ARCFOX. Oh my gosh. Similar syllables are trolling me. My bad. And ARCFOX is currently just sitting on his side ties. And unfortunately for Shocky, they don't transition. So that's going to give ARCFOX max time here to do whatever they want after their 4 wide. They're even going to find that TSD in the middle of their zone. And ARCFOX did have max lines there, but ran out of time. But that's still a very massive 62 damage. Putting Super Shocky in a very precarious situation. But they do see the light of day, and they are completely low on the board. Amazing 9 combo to mitigate the losses here. But oh, that S-piece misdrop is in the worst spot possible. They're going to be forced to take this all-spin double, which doesn't do anything for them in this game. They have the overcharge. Well, they don't have the best piece queue to give them a good board state afterwards to skim more. This is going to be the end of their overcharge. No more meter. And ARCFOX is going to tie this game up. ARCFOX has been doing really well at finding these 4 wides. Very powerful tool to have in TEC, especially in Phase 3. Unfortunately for them, they are going to misdrop that C-spin. So that's going to put a hamper in their initial pressure, but all that does is give them more material to tank. Realize that their zone is forced. But this is Phase 1 after all. Ooh. ARCFOX chooses not to DT, not going to be greedy. Especially after they were that high in the board. And Super Shocky doing some IRS shenanigans, trying to get this high clear. And they find the 48 ulti. Not the highest attack ulti, but still 48 nonetheless. But ARCFOX is just gonna quick end here. I think they recognize that Super Shocky's overall zone damage was relatively lacking. And now Shocky just doesn't have the opportunity to retaliate. Very well played by ARCFOX there with that quick end. And ARCFOX takes that lead. The momentum is most definitely in their favor with those 3 consecutive rounds. ARCFOX debating if they want the PC or not. They decide against it. ARCFOX keeping it as efficient as they can. Very nice donations. Very nice tanks. Unfortunately for them, the well does swap when they wanted to do something silly here. But even still, amazing way out. But they have less time than they think they do, and they're not going to be able to find that 20 in time. So in this transition, Shocky had an opportunity and then just received the cheesiest phase 2 I've ever seen. So that is going to put ARCFOX right back in advantage. And Shocky wasn't able to tank that. It was a little bit too slow to initially mitigate, so they're going to be forced to zone again. And yeah, even with IRS, there's just no mitigating what is currently in their bar. And ARCFOX, at reverse sweep pace, Super Shocky's gonna have to manage to shut down that momentum somehow. They're labbing that out. They find PC. They aren't fast enough to take it. ARCFOX is able to completely get combo there, so they're able to PC too. And this is a DPC setup, so ARCFOX is gonna take it. ARCFOX, I think, was looking to C-spin again, but they did initially misdrop, so they're gonna be forced against it. So Shocky's gonna be safe for now. Shocky recognizes how Q dependent their max lines was, so they're not gonna waste any time. And ARCFOX doing some micro combos in their zone. Could be pretty decent efficiency. ARCFOX has the 20, but once again runs out of time. ARCFOX has been overestimating their time in a lot of these, but that is going to be a very swaggy DT. You'll love to see it. Very nice decisions by Shocky. Unfortunately, they do misdrop that Z piece there, so they're gonna end up covering their well even further. And once again, the phase 2 cheese does not like Shocky. This has just been like a consistent thing. The game just doesn't want Shocky to win. But they're not gonna go down that easily. They've got the max if it comes down to it, and oh no, that OP's misdrop is going to force Shocky to zone here. And ARCFOX is just in prime opportunity to punish. A very interesting decision from ARCFOX to take it zoneless here. Maybe trying to just... Okay, I thought they were trying to keep it out of zone to potentially just kill. But they are just going to take this max zone at lower time. And those misdrops aren't looking good. They're only going to send 27. Super Shocky sees the end of it. They have the opportunity to make it out of this alive. And they're going to use most of that zone for upstack. And yes, Super Shocky's going to live the situation that was initially extremely precarious. Oh my, what a count to 4 from Super Shocky, but ARCFOX had an amazing double send there. That puts Super Shocky right back in a very bad spot. And ARCFOX is gonna simulzone. Shocky only sends 16, which gives ARCFOX a lot of room to force a kill. It all depends on how much overcharge Shocky has. Do they have enough? Oh, setting up that T-spin with no meter is just death. And ARCFOX is going to take the set in reverse sweep fashion. 5 consecutive rounds. Very interesting matchup there. Well played from Shockey, but there were just a few decisions there that ended up just costing